Hi, everybody, and welcome to our kickoff of Gary and Doug versus the World. We have a lot of very cool things planned today. Hopefully, the tech does what I hope it is going to do, and we're going to turn that off so that we don't have to listen to me talk while you're listening to me talk, because that's annoying. But we got a bunch of people online already. Thank you very much for being here, and let us know in the chat where you're watching from and what you're hoping to see out of this series. We are still kind of, as I said in the Facebook post that went with this, we are kind of building the airplane in the air on this, almost literally, because I literally 40 seconds ago finished setting up the map. So we're getting there. But so let us know where you're at and where you're watching from and what you're hoping to see in this series. And I am going to take us to a hold, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes. And I'm realizing now that I'm going to show you a weight screen that does not belong to this video, but it's been kind of a week, so I hope you'll bear with us. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hit that like button. Let us know where you're from. Talk to us about what you want to see out of this game. Be right back. Hi, everybody. I'm back in the wrong camera. There it is. Hey, all right. Welcome back, everybody. And we've got lots of great folks already in the chat. Wake Bill, I think maybe was the first one here. Thanks for being here. And we got so Wake Bill is hoping to see the counter to the Thorpe Thump. So we will probably see something like this as we go through this game, but the Thorpe Thump is almost specifically designed for 1942 Second Edition. There are some similarities, of course, between 42 Second and Anniversary, but it will not be exactly the same, but it should be pretty close. But thanks for being here, and thanks for being a member. Curious to see if they'll play the Axis this time. Yeah, I guess we are kind of known for our allied play in the from the 42 Second Edition tournament. We did play an Axis game in that tournament and were successful in that. So we were not exclusively allied players, but we were primarily allied players. That's for sure. All right, and yeah, so. Stephen, I've had this question before, and I guess I might as well go ahead and answer it. This is from, I believe it's actually out of the YouTube Creator Studio, and it's actually just called Epic War Music. That's actually what that's called. So that's why I'm not surprised it didn't work in Shazam, but that's where we got it. Yes. So Bill, this is. You are right. So we did a poll in the on the Discord and on the member-only YouTube to figure out which version of the game we wanted to play in our first game here, and it was closer than I thought it was going to be, actually. But it did turn out to be Anniversary was the preferred game to start with. But we will be playing, assuming that we survive this encounter, we will be playing 1942 Second Edition in our next iteration of this event. So we will definitely be doubling back to that version of the game. Again, we got a bunch of people here. Thank you all for being here. If you're here and excited about it, go ahead and hit that like button for us and drop a comment in the chat to let us know that you're here and what you're hoping to see. Doug is already laying out strategies for Russia's opening. We're thinking a battleship and an artillery maybe for Russia 1. And, we'd like to keep the game short. But let's go ahead and bring in my friend. Let's get Doug in here, and we'll make him explain himself. Let's see how we're going to do this. Side by side. Is that going to work? Oh, sort of. Got an extra person in here.
There's a big gutter in there.
I know. So I brought in you'll see why this is a little screwy in just a minute, but I moved a bunch of cameras around. By the way, this is our first live stream from the new studio. I hope you like it. We're back in front of a brick wall, but we're still kind of working through the chaos here. So what I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to go back to this one, and he'll be right back. We'll bring you in here. There we go. That'll work. We'll use this one for now. All right, great. And Jamie, my lovely bride and a moderator extraordinaire, is actually double checking my work on my rapid setup of the Anniversary Edition. First, let me ask a question to everybody. Am I the only one that's annoyed by the Anniversary setup charts? Do they just seem like they're designed to make it hard to set this damn game up? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Like, it's just so bizarre.
It's horrible. Really, all the versions are like that. It's like you put a piece here, and then you put a piece here, and then you put a guy in the middle, and then you're back over here, and then you're at a boat, and then you're on the land, and then you're in the sky. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. The UK especially is like Eastern Canada, and then New Zealand, and then C-Zone 2, and then someplace in India. It's very strange. Yes, it's very strange. I'm gonna have to write a letter
It's like they randomized it just to screw with you.
Right, and there's one particularly for the Russians when you're setting up, like you start to move to the east and it skips Urals, and then comes back to it at the end. I'm like, why would you do that? It's just so. Anyway, but once you get it set up, then it's a lot of fun. But the setup process, like, could be a little bit smoother for sure. All right, so Yes, we may have. You know what? I should call Guinness and see if we are setting a world record for the most boards set up for one game of Axis and Allies. Actually, that's a really good question. If you have set up your board and intend to follow along with the action, please let us know in the comments. We would love to see how many people are doing that. And if you are doing that, send pictures because we definitely want to see that. You can drop them in the Discord. You can put them. You can send it to us on Facebook. We would love to see kind of how everybody's looking at the map and thinking about it. So, yes, Creighton. Oh man, you're. A gentleman among scoundrels. Have you considered using Tabletop Simulator for this? I have a mod that does either deployment for me at the press of a button. Okay, that would be cool. All right, so here's where first, I love every part of that idea, and it was my original plan was to use some kind of, I need to use the physical map here because I'll be taking the still images along the way so that we can do a recap video at the end that'll go out to everybody. Right, so we're going to make a video that was Gary and Doug versus the World Game 1 that looks a lot like the World Championship videos, right? So that'll be fun, and that'll be out to the public. So I needed a physical map here, but to make it easier for everybody to follow along, I really, really wanted some kind of online version that we could use, that we could move the pieces around as the game developed, but then everyone else could just click on the link and go and see it. That's what I looked all over for it, and I could not find a version that an online portal that would allow me to do it. If there is, if somebody knows a way to do that, let me know. The key though is that I don't want people to have to buy anything to do it, because it's, most people are already paying to be members to be able to participate in the voting and all that stuff. So we don't want to have an added expense. But if you've got a way to do it that would allow that, I would love to know about it because we can solve a lot of problems. So, or a lot of headaches in this, but yeah, I'd love to know about it. So you really want a battleship and a artillery on round one? Is that what you want to do?
I mean, I don't know why not. That's
You're a crazy
really,
person.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you could just plop the battleship right into the Baltic with the German fleet and just cause all sorts of chaos. Like,
With that Woodbury, that would be. There you go. Yeah, and based on that talk, the world is now minus 175 to win. Get your late bets early, boys. Get your late bets early. Um, yes. This is how you know Charles lives in Vegas, by the way.
yeah,
he's
that's
always
right.
he's always got the odds. I appreciate that. Yes, so we will see how it all plays out. First, let me say that we're excited. Doug and I were just talking about this before we got started. We're excited for this game and to see how this all plays out. But obviously, like I said, we're building the airplane in the air. We're going to try to see how this works. We've got a Google form set up that I'll show you in just a minute that the commanders who we've selected, who we'll talk about more again in a minute, that they'll use to put in their orders and to do their thing. And we'll try to turn those as quickly as possible into something that the audience, that the members can vote on, and we'll go from there. But I just wanted to kind of see if it would work. So do I think we're going to win? I have no idea, but we're going to try and see what happens.
I want to know who the commanders are, and I probably need photographs because I'm really bad with names. Like, who are
Yeah.
these
Well,
people?
some
I haven't
of
seen them. The tournament
yeah,
scene.
some of them some of them
Okay.
are new to the scene, but some of them you'll know. So our first commander is General Robin.
Yeah.
Please say,
Okay.
I think he's here. Say hi, Robin. Also known as Divergent in the Discord chat. He's one of our generals. Thank you very much for your support and for being our first general. And number two is one of our lieutenants, a guy named Charles Hall, who I've not met in person yet, but goes by Warrior Poet. Or actually, I think I did meet him at Gen Con, but I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup, unfortunately. But he's our second general, and he's got a fair amount of tournament experience as well. Number three, I know you know, is Mr. Chad Condi, who's also one of our lieutenants and the winner of our super cool triple sign North Africa game. originally he went by Pizza Man, but we've adjusted that. So that now he's Condi.
He's pretty good.
Yes, yes, yes. Our So he's our third commander. Number four is Sean Timmons. He is one of our sergeants, and we're excited to have him on. I don't know much about his gameplay background. And our fifth is Landon Bach Buchanan, and I spelled it in an unusual way. Buchanan, and we're excited to have those five gentlemen as our first ever commanders in Gary and Doug versus the World. If they are unavailable or we need a moderator, Mr. Jon Bosch will also be stepping in to help with any part of that.
I hope some of them really stink.
Yeah,
I'm
when
just
I saw, I don't know, you got to give us a shot here.
we got to smack talk a little bit, right?
Something, man. Like, it was funny in the Discord channel, like this, where I talked to everybody in the Discord to figure out who was going to be the commanders. And when Chad piped up and said he wanted to be one of the commanders, I was like, well, here, I thought we were going to have a chance, right? Like, now Chad's going to be playing. So we'll see. And Robin, there's a lot of really good players in here, so we'll see how it plays out. And
here's my other question: when they put their orders out there, are they going to be like anonymous, or are people going to know whose orders they're voting for?
That's a good question. I don't know. I had it in my head that they would not be anonymous, that they would be, Commander One, which is why I numbered them that way. But it is interesting to think that people knowing Robin or people knowing Chad might think, oh, he probably knows what he's talking about, and vote for him over somebody that maybe they hadn't heard of before. So maybe they should be anonymous.
Yeah.
I'd be curious. We'll throw it to the chat. What do you guys think? We got 115 or so people on here. What do you guys think?
We could change it up some. Like round one could be who they are, and round two we could, I don't know.
That is an interesting idea. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm curious what do you guys think? I'm curious about what we want to do with that. But either way, it should be a lot of fun. And I don't know if we're going to win. My hope is just we get through the game and see, how long it takes. My goal is to get through this in 7 weeks. We're going to play 6 full rounds of Anniversary Edition and see what, how long that takes, right? So, 7 weeks is going to be, what is this? This is February 21st. So that would be just under 2 months. So that would be all of March and then halfway through April. So we'll see what, we'll see. I don't know. But I've also got a trip coming up in March where I'm going to be on the road for about a week. And so I will do my very best to facilitate all of this while I'm doing that. But we may end up with a little bit of downtime while that goes on. Plus, this may, the pace that I laid out in the original post was that, we would take our turn on Tuesday night, give the commanders 12 hours to write their orders into the Google form, and then give the world 15 or 12 hours to vote. And then we'd be back the very next night. Unfortunately, that means that Doug and I have to be doing a live stream every single night of the week. And we both, we have lives, right? And
I have kids. Like I'm a coach soccer.
I don't want your excuses. You're facing the world. The world is on the line.
The whole world. Yeah,
that's right. So again, building the airplane in the air, we're going to do our very best to try to keep the pace of this moving forward as at a reasonable tempo. So we've got a couple of folks here talking about people. Some people want it anonymous. Some people want it to be not anonymous. Full transparency from one of our lieutenants. Robin makes a good point here. So it's 2 global champs versus Gary and Doug in a game that none of us are particularly familiar with, right? So Doug and I are 1942 second edition experts, and not that we've played it in a little while because we've been paying so much attention to Anniversary lately, but and Robin and Chad are longtime global tournament players. So it should be interesting to see kind of how that plays out. I don't know. Uh,
It looks like Charles is voting for the kill Africa first strategy. I think that's a good. I think it's a good choice, Charles. Should go for that for sure.
I like it. I like it. You guys go ahead. Um, all right, cool. So, hello, Woodrow from Texas. Very good. Um, buddy, we're just warming up here. All right. Well, we'll get there. There are dozens of us. That's right. That is true. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we're hoping to kind of build a thing that I hope is a lot of fun, and we'll see how it plays out. But
It'll be fun,
yeah, we've
unless we
got
lose.
a few of the commanders online right now. Robin is here. If you're one of the commanders, please pipe up in the chat here, because one of the things that we'd like to do today is do the bid if we can, and see how that plays out. And if it happens that Doug and I end up playing the Axis, then we'll go ahead and play Japan's first turn. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to try here again. Stay with me, friends. We're going to try to show you what I've got set up for the game here. So this is our primary down shot on the table. I think I'm going to add another light here because it seems a little dark. Hey, Landon, thank you for letting us know that you're here. Sean is here too. Fantastic. So we've got at least three of our commanders already on here. So that's the down shot, and then I also have a camera set to the east, and this is probably where I'll do most of the rolling. Is probably over Brazil, and then if it's in the west, then we'll probably do that as well. Ooh, that is not where I want it to be. Somehow that got moved around. Let's zoom out just a little bit there. That camera moved when it shouldn't have, but we can adjust that later. And then if we really, yeah, wow, that hurts my brain. I'm not sure I
That's
can look at
great.
that.
This is the view that the world has to make their moves off of right here.
That's exactly right. You know, even the odds here, friends. Like, this is all the information you get, everybody. This is all you get is this shot.
Can't use your own. You should turn that one in the middle upside down. That'll be.
There you go. Exactly. And then I'll randomly come by and every other day or so just do that. You guys can work it out after that. But no, that's so I think this will be the primary shot is the down shot, which we'll get back to over here. So this is the primary shot. If there is a need to see further to the right, which there might be, then we'll certainly look at that and move it around as necessary. And then the other thing that'll be happening is as each turn progresses, like I said, I'll be taking the still images that should allow us to follow. So I'll take the still images, I'll put them in the Discord server so that everybody can see them, so that the members can see them rather. And then you guys can use that to either update your maps if you, in case you missed one of the live streams or didn't miss part of the action. You can use that to update your maps at home, or we can all, and then of course use it to figure out and the commanders of course can use it to do whatever it is that they want to do with them. So that's kind of how this is set up to work. I'm curious, Doug, any thoughts about how we've got it set up here? I'm looking for particular points that we're going to trip on is what I'm trying to work out right now.
No, I mean, I think it sounds good. Like you said, we're going to kind of try to figure it out a little bit as we go. I'm going to have to find out a spot in my house to have a game set up for, 7 or 8 weeks. So yeah, I think it'll be good. I do wonder, I don't know anything about your rig or your setup or anything, but I'm just thinking when you're sitting at a board, you're not looking straight down on it. You're looking at it at an angle. Like, could there be a camera that's similar to your shot straight down, but just at like a 45 or something like that to the board? Does that make sense?
Yes, and I looked at that. The trouble is, based on how I have it set up to do it that way, I my head would be banging into the camera. So that
Yeah.
but I can absolutely, um, honestly, the way to have done what you described would have been to set the table up and set the map up on the board upside down, so that I would be interacting with it from the top, and that the camera
Hmm.
could point at the, the map right side up,
Hmm.
which would not be that difficult. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of the deluxe map, which is what I've set the game up on, love the deluxe map, think it's fantastic. Recommend that for everybody. Make sure that you use our Discord link or our affiliate link when you go to buy one. But one of the downsides of it is that it has no ability to move, right?
Yeah.
So there's no like picking it up and moving it, even half a foot over to one side or the other, because it's just a neoprene thing. We've got an interesting question, Marty. Yes, yes, yes. Our world is flat, sir. It is flat and it is a wraparound. Thank you, General.
Flat and that's right.
Very good, very good. All right, awesome. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so wow, we got a bunch of people on. Thank you all for being here. If you are just arriving, we're in the new studio. We're excited about it. We're still working out all of the kinks of the new space. So we appreciate your patience as we work through that. If you are excited about Gary and Doug versus the world and our almost certainly inevitable demise, then I would appreciate it if you take a second and hit that like button for us, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate everybody being here. Um, this is the A question from our friend Mind Blown. How will the world keep a consistent strategy? Seems like voting each round might cause strategy to change frequently. That is certainly one of the advantages that Doug and I might have, because we only have to argue between ourselves, and you guys have to argue with the whole world. So that is certainly one of the struggles that the world will have to face. No doubt about that. So to that end, in the Discord server, one of the things that we set up in the member only section is a place for the world to talk, so they can talk to each other about the game. The pictures will also be posted in there. I think no, I set up a different space for that. You'll see it when you get over there. But then there's also a commander only chat. Now that the game has begun, of course, I'm the administrator of the Discord server, so I have access to everything. But Doug and I have promised, unless there's some intervening need for us to go over there, we will stay out of that commander chat. So that's just a place for the commanders where they can talk to each other. I have asked, or I am now asking the commanders, in an effort to keep the voting interesting. Sometimes there are, primary lines of thinking, right? And that's cool. But whenever possible, we look for different lines of thought in the voting. So the giant Google spreadsheet that I created, it has a tab for Commander 1 to vote, Commander 2, or Commander 1 to write their orders, Commander 2 to write their orders, and so on. So they can see each other's orders. Because the hope is that they won't all write the same thing, right? Because we want the voting to be interesting to the people who are, voting. And the other exercise here is to discuss different lines of strategic options in the game, right? So that's kind of what we're hoping to see happen. And I think a lot of times that'll happen by itself. But, and again, there are going to be times where it's like, okay, the U.S. is attacking because it's now time for them to do that, right? and that's just kind of going to be how that plays out. But that's what we're hoping for. Mr. Troy Hall, welcome to the Board Game Nation. You are now an official citizen and a member of the Board Game Nation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. And he's a new general. Fantastic. We really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. We've got lots of cool things coming up. Go ahead, Doug.
The attack with the Anzacs triple Dutch. That's right.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Um, One thing that Gary and I were talking briefly, it kind of occurred to me before the live stream was that um, I don't have a camera rig or setup, so Gary's going to have to do all the rolling. And I was starting to have like a little bit of PTSD from some of what happened in our run at the World Championship when Gary was doing a lot of the rolling. It's like I might need to get a webcam and get my own
Right.
box set up,
Right.
my
Right.
own dice.
So, but I'll be rolling for the world as well.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe. Okay,
So,
okay.
and maybe my luck was specific to the Russians. Maybe that was the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Um, so yeah, this is a good question. Christopher, I'm going to come back to that question in just a second. So the world's generals are expected to collaborate.
I was
Not
wondering about that
necessarily.
also.
Yeah, they're not supposed to collaborate. They're more trying to stay out of each other's way, I guess is what I'm after, right? To try to make sure that it's not always everybody doing the same thing. So yeah, so that's kind of the idea. Christopher Nix. So you have stumbled into Gary and Doug versus the World, and this is our kickoff event. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rolling here in just a minute to see who's going to be bidding. I'm going to encourage my commanders to try to get on the same page as to what side you want to play. You may have already been discussing this in the commander chat, and I just don't know. But we're going to switch over to that other camera in a minute, and I'm going to find some dice. Then we're going to roll and see who's going to bid. And then if it happens that we end up with the axis, then we'll go ahead and make Japan's first turn, hopefully, and be able to execute that today. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And then when that's done, the commanders that we've selected, Robin, Charles, Chad, Sean, and Landon, will be writing out orders that they'll be putting into a Google Doc or a Google Sheet rather, that we will then turn into a poll that goes out to the Board Game Nation membership. Thank you again to Troy for joining us. And they will vote on which of those orders we should execute on the map. And then we will go back to another live stream, a member only live stream. This was a public live stream, and then we'll do member only after this for this event. And we will execute those orders and then make our next turn as they, to move the action along, and then turn the action back over to the commanders and let them write out their orders, rinse, repeat. We're going to play tournament rules for Anniversary Edition. We're going to play the 1942 scenario for Anniversary. And we're going to play through 6 rounds, and which is about what you're going to average in tournament play because of time constraints. So the idea here is that this is prep for Gen Con or other tournaments that you might play in that use these rule sets. So it should be a lot of fun, and I have no idea whether or not it's going to work. This is our first time trying it, but we've got a lot of people that seem to be interested to see it move along, and that is our plan. And we hope that is exciting for you and for others. To either inspire you to become a member of Board Game Nation so that you can be part of the voting and join the world, as it were, to vote in the tournaments or on the moves as they come up, and then be able to celebrate our victory or utter destruction, as the case may be, and come along for the ride. But when it is over, we will be taking all of the stills that we took over the course of the game to create another one of our signature videos now, where we basically break that game down, like we did for the World Championships in 2023 and in 2024. So that is what we're doing here, and that is pretty exciting stuff, I think. And if you got any other questions, thank you for commenting back here. Gary rolling all the dice is vaguely horrifying. You are not kidding, brother. You ain't kidding. I've seen some crazy things happen here. We're gonna see how this plays out. This is why, and like, we'll be rolling all the dice on camera for just this reason, because crazy things happen, and I don't want anybody to think there's some kind of shenanigans here. But we'll see how it goes, but I have no idea. All right. Oh, there you go. Craig's got a good idea here. Just use an online dice roller if you want to roll. Doug. No.
There you
No.
go.
No. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, so are my commanders ready for doing their thing? Let's find out here. So commanders chime in here, and I'm gonna while you're working on that. How does one become a member? Oh, thank you for asking the $1 million question. You are a good man. Thank you for reminding me. In this live stream, you can, if you're on your desktop, if you're on a computer, you can move over and just underneath there's a button that says join. You can click on that and then pick the level that's right for you. There's 3 different levels there: Sergeant, Lieutenant, and General. And when choosing commanders, we start at General, and then Lieutenants, and then Sergeants. And so that's kind of how that selection process goes. If you're on your phone, then you can turn it horizontal or turn it portrait rather, and then the button should show up on the bottom there. And if you're on your TV, that's the hardest one. And we get a lot of people that actually watch our videos on TVs, and so this is one of the reasons. But it is harder to join from your television because the app is a little clunky. So you're better just to either follow the link that my lovely bride just dropped in the comments. You can also follow that link right there, but it's hard to do from a TV. So you're better to try to do it from your phone or from a desktop computer. But thank you for asking that question. We really appreciate that. All right. Okay, cool. So Sean is ready. And
I think.
What's that button do? Oh, okay. Yes, Sean's ready.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
I am going to now switch over to the other side, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to hear me. Oh, Brian, yes. How do you send gift memberships? This is something that we've had a lot of folks doing. We really appreciate this. This gives you the ability to basically gift a 1-month membership to other people that are in the chat. And the way to do that, I've seen this before. I'm trying to remember how to do it. Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that I could do that. That's cool. There is okay, on the bottom in the chat box, there's a little $ that's there. If you click on that, a little pop-up will come up. There's super sticker, super chat, membership, which is another way for you to join, apparently. I just learned that. And then there's a button down there that says membership gifting. And then that allows you to buy memberships for other people that are watching the video, which is pretty cool. And we've had a lot of our top supporters do that. We really appreciate that. And we would love to, and Craig, you're right. Gifting is easier to do on a computer than it is on your phone. But if you have access to it, then fantastic. But it is one of those things that can only be done during a live stream because you're gifting it to other people that are in that live stream at the same time as you. But that's kind of how that works. But I hope that made sense. Did that make sense? I hope that made sense.
Yeah, I followed.
Okay, cool. All right, so let me find some dice and a box to roll them in, and I'm going to jump over to this other camera here, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to hear you and that you're going to be able to hear me. I'm going over to the table down. Okay, so can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now you sound distant.
How about now?
It's mid.
Okay, let me try one. Let me fix one thing here. All right, let me fix it. Let's see. Brio audio. Where's the audio? No. Oh, I forgot about it. I need a glockenspiel. I haven't had a glockenspiel all day. Okay.
About time.
I'm telling you.
What did we say? We're hoping allies plus 15. Is that what we said earlier?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. How about now? How's that sound?
That's a lot better.
All right, sweet. Okay, and you can see me? This is live?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I got to find something to roll in. Let me have a thing. La-da-da. Okay. Well, I don't have that many dice to roll right now. I'll just roll on the table here. All right, so I am now rolling for the commanders for the world here to see who's going to bid first. So we're going to roll 2 d6s to see what they have rolled a 9.
That was dangerously close to Europe, Gary.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. All right, we're going to go over here. So so the world has a 9, and we also have a 9.
All right,
so
I like the way this is starting out. It's going to be a tie.
I like it. I like it. All right, so this is the world again. An 8. This is us. 9. Okay, so we have a 9. They have an 8. So we're going to bid first, or we're going to... okay, so we're now coming back over here.
So we're just going to do what we said earlier, right?
I hope so. That's all I got. So
yeah, we're going to take the allies and we'll give the Axis 3.
That's correct. So Gary and Doug's bid, opening offer to the world is we would like to play the allies, and we will give the world 3 IPCs to play the Axis. So now there are at least 3 commanders online, and we will now let them decide what their next bid will be, whether they want to take the 3 or they want to go and give us more than that to try to play the to try to see if they want more than that. Yeah, Charles, you're a kid. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it goes for them. So yeah, I don't know. We have no idea. We'll see how it works out. We want to play the allies. We're offering the generals 3 to play the Axis.
I'm laughing at the chat.
I know. We'll see how it plays out here. All right.
Get more out of them.
Right. Okay. So as far as I think there are 4 commanders online right now. Okay. So Robin wants to give us 4 to play the Axis. He wants to play the allies. He wants to give us 4 to play the Axis. Okay, so that's Robin's vote. I want to hear from Sean, and I want to hear... Oh, okay. Okay, so Sean is saying that Robin is giving your vote. So are you guys talking somewhere else? If you are, just let me know. That's cool. That actually works for me.
Don't take that deal. Always counter offer. Ally 6. I like Benjamin Hurt's idea.
Yeah, me too. That'd be all right with me.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got 3 people now that are commanders that are agreeing with Rob. So the world has now officially counteroffered. Thank you, Charles. Great to see you here. So they're all in agreement that they are now offering us 4 to play the Axis. All right, let's play the Axis. So I say we take it.
We're doing it.
We're going to be the Axis. All right. So that means, okay, good. So Sean, they're talking on Discord. That's good. Hey, we've got another Thorpe in the family here. We've got Raymond Thorpe has joined us as a member. Thank you very much. I'm guessing this person is probably related to you. I'm going to put that out there.
It's my dad.
Dad! Hi, Dad. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Dad.
We appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. All right, then I guess we're playing J1.
Yes, we're doing. I think when artillery on Wake. Is that what we decided? Right.
That's what I thought was going to be the best play. Yes. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so we're going to place the. All right, we got ourselves another member. Thank you very much, John. We appreciate your being here and becoming a member. We've got a couple of new sergeants here. Thank you, John, for joining us. Thanks for being here. Okay, so.
Here's my artillery for my map.
All right, so we are in agreement then, the artillery to French Indochina, Thailand, right?
It's either that or Burma.
Oh no.
It's the same. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, we're not going to India. We're not. We're not.
No,
We're
no,
not falling into that.
no.
All right. It's a trap. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take us back over to the down shot, and I've got another monitor set up over there, but it's going to take me a second to adjust it. So stay with me just for a second so that we can make sure this works here.
Someone said that felt like a shakedown.
Hey, we made an honest bid. So all right. So that. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can also bring the chat over there. All right. We'll see how that works. All right. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that kind of worked. I can't really see the chat. But okay, so how do you play this game? I don't remember. Okay, first, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay, good. All right, so we start with 31 IPCs in this game, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, so I believe we are looking at, let's see how this
14.
how this all goes here. I believe the plan is a carrier. That's cool, but it's delayed. But that's good. So that's there are 14 in this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a carrier, a transport, that's 21, and or is it 2 transports?
I think 2 transports.
It's save 3, or go ahead and buy the other guy. Because this would be 28, and then if we add the guy, that's 31. Or do you want to save the 3?
Hold on a second. I mean, if we don't buy another land unit, we're going to have 4 units to transport next turn and 3 transport. So it kind of depends on where our transport for round 1 ends up. C-Zone 61 could always grab a guy from Okinawa if we need him or something like that. Yeah.
That's definitely part of the opening. So you want to buy the guy or you want to hold?
I say we hold it.
Okay, so we're going to keep the 3. We're going to buy the carrier and 2 transports.
Yep.
Right, so that's our purchase. Okay, so combat moves. We are going into 35. The carrier and both fighters and the destroyer. Oh wait, hold on. I got to put my my extra artillery here in French Indochina, Thailand.
Yeah,
that's from the bid, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now we're going. We're leaving Burma. We're going into Yunnan.
Yeah. 3 infantry, artillery.
3 of this fighter. For the fighter from Formosa.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say Formosa.
Right.
This is
this
where
guy's going to come down.
I'm not as sharp at this game. Is just some of like the, where does this fighter go? Where does that fighter go? Some of that stuff. Not as strong.
Yeah, no, we'll get through it. I'm trying to see where my little dice are.
I think we should figure out what all we're sending into C-Zone 53, and then that'll give us a very clear picture of what's left.
Did you see those little chess dice, those little black dice? Did you see that little plastic container that has a black dice in it? You know what I'm talking about? No, that's okay. Okay, so out here, I believe, is this fighter. One, two.
Yeah, this is a question. This is a question to me. I don't like bringing that fighter. I say we bring the fighter off the carrier because then we don't have to sack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cruiser.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think the bomber and the cruiser.
Bomber, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty strong odds for us there.
Do you want the cruiser?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can't see the
Yeah,
chat. They're probably going crazy thinking that I'm lost my mind over here, but we're going to push through.
maybe.
Okay. All right. So we're happy now with 53?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
because then
right.
we can use the fighter in Tokyo to go after CU on. One, two,
Two,
that's three
three,
to get
four.
there.
Yeah. So this bomber is going to land in the Caroline Islands, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and that'll be blocked. Okay. So yeah. So that's that, and now we'll go into Fujian. We're going to bring this tank with this transport down into Okinawa. Move across into here. Land. With that, we'll bring the battleship.
Yep. A guy from Kwangtung up.
Yeah, he's stepping over. These guys are doing the amphibious assault. I think that it's these three guys into Hupei, and these two guys into. Oh no,
So
three and two.
yeah, three in CUN, two in
Right.
Hupei, and then the Manchurian fighter comes into Hupei.
Right. So he comes
Right.
in here. This guy, one, two, three. He comes into there. All right. How's that grab you?
Let me just.
Do you want the other angle?
I mean, I got it on a board here. I think I'm fine.
Okay. Let me see what it looks like over there.
Yeah, so we got three guys and a fighter in Siuan, two guys and a fighter in Hupei, three infantry, artillery, and two fighters into Yunnan, two infantry, a tank, and a bombard into Fujian. Is that all right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Yeah, we can't use a battle calculator since we started this game, but I meant to look at C Zone 53 beforehand, um, and just see what are. It seems like it'd be pretty thin if you just brought, like, if you either left the fighter or the cruiser out, because there's two twos and a four versus two twos and a four. So just having one extra three seems risky, because you could take that fighter from the carrier into the mainland, but I think it's better to make sure we get the American carrier in 53.
Yeah, no, I agree. That makes sense to me.
Because that fighter could hit 35, give us a little more insurance there. One, two, three, four. The fighters off of the carry and 38 are only moving one, so they could land elsewhere. Yeah, that's my only thought. Is I meant to think more about if we got the access, is that fighter go to 53 or 35? But other than that, I'm fine to leave it as it is. I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Yeah. So do you want to bring? Or so you're. So the only other thought that I would have for this fighter in 38 would be to bring it in. Can it reach this fight in Yunnan? One, two, three, four. It can. Or do you want to leave it there?
No, I think it's fine. I say we
Okay.
just leave it like it is. I don't
Okay.
think we need more Yunnan. I think we have pretty overwhelming
Yeah.
forces there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're good in Yunnan. Um, Bill, you make a good point here. How are we tracking plane movement? I do have small little Chessex dice that I, for the moment, can't seem to find.
I put them on my board. I think we'll be fine. Um, I mean, the fighter in 53 moved one, the bomber four, the two fighters in 35 moved one, fighter in Yunnan one, another fighter in Yunnan three, fighter in Hufei two, and the fighter in Siuan three.
Can you try to find me?
I'm sure there's enough people watching that if we screw something up, someone will call it out.
I have my lovely bride has found my dice.
Oh, nice.
Can I have the top of that box of the paper? Because that'd be something good to roll in. All right. Another.
You mean run through that again?
No, I think I got it. So these guys both moved one. So one thing that we do that is a little different than you might see out in the world is the die represents the number of moves that the air unit has taken, not its remaining. Because there are instances like that fighter coming from Japan that it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can't put a 0 on a die.
Yes.
So this has moved 4. We know that it's a bomber. It's got 2 moves left. This has moved 1. We know that it's a fighter. It's got 3 moves left. This fighter came from French Indochina, Thailand. It moved 1. This one came from Formosa. It moved 3. This one came from Manchuria. It moved 2. And this one came from Japan. It moved 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right? And this way, also, if you've got multiple units that move the same distance like this, then you can just say they've moved 1. Oh, okay. All right, I'm still looking for something to roll in. Normally you use the box top, but unfortunately my table's not big enough. I can't put it on camera at the same time. But I do have a bunch of
regular dice. Get a box lid from a smaller game. Grab like Wingspan box lid or something.
That's a good call. That's a good call. All right, I got to get the rest of this crap off the table. All right. Dooby-doo-doo. All right.
You know, one thing I appreciate about you, Gary, is not only do you know the rules, which may sound, as this is coming out of my mouth, it sounds kind of dumb, but you follow them. Like you do the naval battles, amphibious assaults, like you actually do things in the correct order. And that's
I try.
It's relevant. Like I think there's a good design behind that.
Okay, so can you see inside this box?
Pretty well, yeah.
Okay, so if I roll into this box, everyone's gonna be cool? I can't see the chat. So everyone's gonna be cool if we roll into this box right here?
Looks good. I mean, the only corner that can't be seen is the one that's like by Morocco and Libya, but I mean, other than that.
Yeah, there's no units down there.
Okay. Did someone check the board to make sure they didn't add any extra fighters? It's too late. We already moved them.
Sorry, guys. That's how it works. All right. Okay, so first up, we've got the amphibious assault into Fujian. So we have the offshore shot at a 4. Look, we need 1 hit. And we got him. All right, so that is, this guy is now down. He gets to shoot back. He needs a 2. He misses. So he falls. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't take any still images. That's all right. We'll see how it goes. That's all right. All right, so that's good. Next, now we can do whatever we want. So we'll do 35.
Yeah, this is the only one that makes me a little nervous because I feel like one.
Yeah, okay, so here's the battleship at a 4 hit. So that's 1 hit. We'll do that. The 2 3s, these are the fighters. 1 hit. So now we got 2 hits all day. And now the carrier at 1. Yeah, misses. Okay, so there's 2 hits there. I'm going to make the logical choice for the world, which is going to be the destroyer and the carrier. Okay, so that's the 2 hits from them. Now they're returning fire. They have 2 at a 2. This is the destroyer and the carrier. 1 hit.
That's not what I wanted to see.
And now the fighter at a 4. Also a hit. Okay, So they got 2 hits. So obviously we'll take the first one on the battleship and we'll lose a fighter.
Yep.
Okay. These are the losses down here. So we'll be able to note those when we get done later. So don't pay any attention to these. These are from my records later. Okay, so now these are removed. Still have the fighter and the carrier there. You want to press or retreat?
I hadn't actually thought about retreating.
If we retreat, the fighter lands in India and the transport survives, but it doesn't have any friends to go with it.
This is why I don't like this battle for the Axis. This is the 135. Just because if they hit us again, we're going to lose another fighter. That's brutal. I don't know. Is it better for them to be down a fighter? I mean, we'll kill their fighter for sure. It's just whatever. 2/3, 66%, we lose a fighter as well. I say we press.
Yeah, I agree, and it's because there's another fighter down here.
Yeah.
So if we end up with 2 fighters in India, now they're much more likely to be able to push out. But if we kill the one fighter that's there and this transport, then we don't have to worry about it anymore. So I say we press.
Good.
All right, so here's the carrier at a 1. Miss. This is the fighter at a 3. Also misses. And the battleship at a 4. That hits. Thank God. Oh my God. I thought that was going to be the end. Okay, so I was having flashbacks. You guys are freaking me out. There's too many people watching. Okay, so now the fighter returns fire at a 4.
Another 6.
It misses. All right, cool. So
hey, good decision, Doug. Good decision to press.
That's right. Okay, so we did lose a fighter in that exchange, but we will repair our battleship, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want to go now?
53.
All right, we'll do the big one at 53. All right, so they've got the destroyer, so we don't get the sneak attack. So we have 2 at a 2, right?
Yep.
Here's 2 at a 2. This is the sub and the destroyer. 1 hit.
Nice.
So let's just put that over there. And now we have 2 3s. Nothing. And a 4 for the bomber. Hits. Okay, so they got 2. That feels like the destroyer and the carrier.
Yep.
Seems like the logical choices there. Okay, so now they are going to return fire. Their destroyer and the carrier both defended a 2, so here's that. 2 hits. Look at that. Okay, so we're taking 2 hits there. And now the fighter at a 4 misses. Okay. Right?
Yep.
Okay, so these guys fall. Or what do we want to take? We have
sub and destroyer.
Sub and the destroyer, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. So these guys are another carrier in the bottom of the Pacific. I like it. And so that leaves us with the cruiser, the fighter, and the bomber versus the fighter. I say we press.
Yes, press.
Yeah, yes. All right, so we've got 2 3s. This is the cruiser and the fighter at a 3. 2 hits, so that'll be enough to take care of that. Let's see if the fighter takes anybody with him. He needs a 4 or less. He misses. Look at there. Okay. So that fighter is down with his friends. All right, so these guys are here. All right. Rocking and rolling so far. I like this. I'm happy with where we are at the moment. So, Sui Yuan?
Yep, north to south.
All right, so, so we're going to work this central China here. So this is 3 1s here in Sui Yuan. 2 hits.
Oh, nice.
Shut the front door. So that's all we needed. Whew. I like it. So that's going to be those 2. They are firing back. These are the 2 Chinese infantry returning fire, and both missing. Ooh. And this is why we roll on camera, my friends, because we need to be able to justified when we have these kinds of outcomes. So I like that very much. Into Houpe now. We've got 2 at a 1. Nothing. And the fighter at a 3 hits. Okay. So he's down, and now he's going to return fire this time. He needs a 2, and he gets it. So we lose a guy here. That's our first infantry loss, actually.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So we need that. Okay. Oh. All right. Next is, this is a big one, friends. We got to have this one.
2 3s. We'll get it.
All right, so here's the 2 1s. Nothing. 2 2s. Nothing. And 2 3s. Nothing.
Oh my
nothing,
gosh.
nothing. Oh boy. I feel like we've seen this show before. All right. The Chinese infantry. Nothing.
Okay.
And the fighter at a 4.
I can go once. Okay.
Does score a hit.
That's okay.
Okay, so we lose a guy. Okay, so that could have been absolutely disastrous. All right, so now we have 1 at a 1, miss. 2 at a 2, miss. Okay, this is starting to get a little scary. 2 at a 3, 1 hit. Okay, we've broken the ice.
Yeah.
We've broken the ice. All right, so they've got 2 infantry responding. We got a spinner.
Uh-oh.
Nothing. All right, and now the fighter at a 4.
Stay high.
Also misses.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right, so now they just got the 1 infantry left.
Hey, you got is that a guy laying down flat in Houpe? Is that the guy we killed?
No, he died. He's gone. Thank you.
Okay.
But I need a chip to represent him in the losses. All right, good call. Thank you, Doug. All right. Next up. All right, we press. So here's the 1. Hits.
Nice.
I like that. All right, and now the 2 2s.
There it
Where
is.
you been all day? All right, so that's everybody. All right, so now the Chinese infantry hits. Of course it does. And the fighter misses.
Man,
How weird is that?
that
All right, so we lose another guy.
The Allied fighters were garbage. C-Zone 35 missed, C-Zone 53 missed, and then Yunnan missed 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that is strange. All right.
Okay.
So there's that. We're in here with a guy and an artillery. That is okay. A couple of fighters there. Stellar results in the north here.
Yep.
All right. So now we're done rolling. Okay, so we got to put some markers in here. Let's do this. Yunnan, Fujian, Suiwan, Hubei. All right. Anything else? That's everybody, right? I think so.
Combat.
Yeah. All right, so non-combat.
So let's take our bomber to Caroline Islands.
Yeah.
I say we move the carrier and the Caroline up to 62.
Okay.
And then the fighter in 53 to 62 as well. There's
several people in the chat that are asking Jamie to roll for the world.
Oh.
All right, I think we might be able to work that out next time. We'll see. We'll see if she's feeling it. All right. So I'm sorry. What did you say? Where do you want to go?
That fighter
goes
goes
62?
with the carrier. Yeah, it goes on the carrier.
Okay.
Um,
He's got to stay. He's there.
The fighter that moved 1 and is in Yunnan could go 2, 3, 4 and land on the carrier as well. So we'd have two carriers and 2 fighters there with our 2 transports at the end of the round. And then we got to figure out where to land the other 3 fighters inland, and then we've moved everything we can move.
Okay, so let's think about what can get to 62. The only thing I think can get here is this bomber, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Bomber. Oh.
Yeah, just the bomber, right?
Yeah.
So what if we did this instead? Oh no, he can't get there. Yeah, he can. He can get here. So if we did this, and this fighter goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we're going to want to be able to push that way next round. Yeah. Right? So keeping the fighters closer to China seems to be the way. And there's nothing useful down here, and there's no
threat. Yeah.
Well, this fighter and this fighter could attack, but that seems like a terrible choice. Right?
No, the destroyer could come through too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, let's leave. I say we leave a fighter there.
Okay. Well, we can bring this guy down. That's fine.
So,
that's a push.
Well, okay. The fighter that moved 3 in CUN is going to land in Kiangsu, right?
Yes.
And the guy who moved 3 that's in Yunnan is going to go into French Indochina, Thailand.
Right.
So
do you want, so this fighter that came from Yunnan, do you want this to go all the way up here?
Well,
or are you happy with it in 61? Because what's going to land up here then is the carrier with a fighter and 2 transports.
Yeah.
Which against 1 bomber, I think I'm okay. I mean, we can bring this guy. He moved 3, so he's got to stop there. He came in here for 3, so he came from Japan, so he's got to stop here.
Let's land the Hupei fighter. He's got to go. He could go on a carrier in 61 or in Kiangsu. Might as well put him in Kiangsu, right? Because he can press inland.
Yeah, we could come here too.
1, 2.
Because that gives us Sikang and Ningxia. I'm trying to say it better, guys. I've been working on it. I tried it 3 or 4 times. We'll see.
Yeah, it's the same distance from either one of them, Kiangsu or French Indochina, two spaces.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let's just put him in.
Okay.
Let's put him in Kiangsu.
Okay.
We're not going to hit India with him this round. Yeah, I just like having a little more defense in 62. I realize only a bomber can get there.
Okay. So do you want this carrier back up here then?
I think I would like to have at least 2 fighters there. I mean, if they come in with a bomber, probably won't. But just for the sake of the discussion, if we just whiff once, they could blow up our carrier that we just built, and that sucks. And then have a shot.
And the transports, which is even more important.
Yeah, which is devastating.
Okay. So this fighter came from French Indochina, Thailand, and went 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy came from here. He went 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll mobilize onto the carrier with the transports. I'm cool with that. The fighter from Manchuria came down to Hupei and ends here. The one from Japan came to Suyuan, lands in Kiangsu.
Then we're leaving
the fighter
carrier down there in 35.
Where did this? Oh, he came from Formosa. Yeah, he came from Formosa. So we went 1, 2, 3. He has to land here. Okay, and then we leave that there. Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry, I was looking at the board.
No, I'm.
I didn't know what you were asking about. We leave what where?
No, I think this is good. I think this is,
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm going to ship some stuff up here so we can kind of see what we're looking at. But,
Yeah. What is the advantage of moving the carrier from 51 to 61? Why not have it in 62? I mean, do we want it further south to press to 37? I mean, nothing can get to 61, so it doesn't do any good there unless it's where we're going to put it next round, right?
yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, I wonder. Honestly, I moved it over here because I was trying to get closer to the fighters.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to be coming back out this way, then maybe it doesn't really matter. I mean, we could move it into 62 and leave it here.
Yeah.
From 51, right?
Yeah.
And leave it there. We'll see. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it in 62. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, everybody, ignore this stuff down here. This is going to be me taking pictures afterwards of the losses and keeping a track of that. So don't pay any attention to any of this down here. This is all graveyard stuff. Okay, so I feel like this. Yeah, I think this is our move. We're going to mobilize now. I got this fighter in my hand. I should put that away before it ends up in a place it shouldn't be.
Ends up on the board.
Right.
Oh, this is how these mistakes happen. They start innocent. Then before we know it, we bought a carrier with an extra fighter on it.
Right, exactly. All right, so here I'm going to go in. I know you guys. All right. I'm going to leave this here in honor of Doug because he likes to keep the carriers out there, but try to. It makes it easier to. I don't know. Because you guys have the down shot, the chips are not going to be particularly useful, but all right. But that's kind of how that's going to look. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I feel good about that. I feel like that was a very, very good opening round. We are plus 3.
4.
Plus 4 from our start, right, because we took these 4 territories. So we're collect 35.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I feel like that's a good opener, right?
Yeah.
So I feel okay about this because they can't get through this cruiser. They've got so it's not like I'm not worried about an amphibious assault to try to take out the bomber. So that's good. Any attack with the bomber now into C-Zone 62 is just silly.
Yep.
So we don't have to worry about that. These fighters are not in danger. We are offering Manchuria. Is available now for a discounted price. If anybody wants to step in there and gobble that guy up, it is worth 3 IPCs. That are one of the things I like about that is that for the Soviets is that it immediately sends those 3 IPCs back to Russia, which is really where they're going to be more useful than out here. You know, so
not in this version. In this version, it goes to
China.
That's
right. That's right. It just liberates it for China. That's right. Yep. Yes. I'm showing my 42 second edition bias, I suppose. All right.
Hey, allies, if you take that, you could build a complex there with Russia. It's a great idea.
Yes. I don't think they can actually do that. I don't think they can do that. They can't do that. Okay. All right. So that is our move. I'm coming back around here to come back to our camera. All right. So come back over here. Okay. So, all right. So now I'm seeing the comments here for the first time. Okay. So, commanders, do me a favor. In the order sheet, request edit permissions. It's going to ping me with an email, and then I'll give you guys individual permissions because I'd like people to continue to be able to see this as the game progresses. So then everyone, so I don't want everyone to be able to write on the sheet because that would just be chaos. But the commanders should need to be able to do it. So send me, use the system there to request permission to be an editor. And then I'll give you that permission, and then we'll be able to move forward. I didn't want to do it before. Chad, I did get your email, but I didn't want to do it before that started. Here they come. Because I didn't know which side we were going to be, so I didn't know if we were going to be doing this tonight. So one of the things that I need to, and I'll do this tonight before I go home, when we're writing these orders, guys, one of the things that would be really helpful is to write like a 1-sentence or 2-sentence summation of what your move is, right? So that we can very quickly like say, okay, well, we're attacking Pearl Harbor, or we're going after India, or we're doing whatever, right? Just kind of a brief, or we're just pushing the center, right? We're making Poland a dead zone, or whatever it is that you sentence or two that you want to say that we can add to the poll, because the poll will be Commander 1 wants to attack Moscow. Okay. And then they can reference the orders and see exactly how you want to do that, if they want to.
Like a summary statement or something
right.
like that.
Because it can get a little dense trying to read all the orders and understand what are they talking about. It's 2 infantry from here, 4 infantry from there, 2 fighters came from here, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to add a little line at the top of each of the order sections. Well, actually, here, let me just, so the world can see what this looks like. Let me jump down here and see if I can do this. See if this works. I am upside down. Look at that.
You are upside down. Yeah.
Why am I upside down?
Can you zoom in a little bit? I can see it, but it's small.
I can. Let me get myself right side up.
Priorities, Doug.
There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so from here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so people can see kind of what this looks like. So we just did, we bought a carrier and 2 transports and saved 3. So our combat move, and I'll write all this down later, but maybe we can just use this spot. So push to central China. Pearl and C zone 35. Right, those are the primary objectives of Japan 1 in this particular. Right, so that's kind of the gist of it, and then we'll write the specifics. Right, this moved here, this moved here. I'll have to do this when we get to that point, so that we'll be able to kind of see what's happening. But then combat results. Who won that particular battle, and then how many units were remaining, and then any particular notes about that. This will be specific to when, like, if there's retreating or stuff like that, like retreated and left, 6 units or whatever. But then non-combat moves, this will be important so that we know kind of where we want to go. And again, we're going to do our best to make as many accurate rules, or as many reasonable choices for the world as necessary. If there are, I didn't do it as much today as I wanted to, but if there are questions of, and there weren't any really questionable calls for the world, like it was pretty straightforward. But if there are, something that we need to make a decision about that I think the world should probably chime in on, hopefully there'll be a commander or 2 online. And if they disagree with each other, then the person whose vote or whose orders were voted for in that particular round, those will be the people that will be able to make the choices moving forward. So that's kind of the idea.
I think that's the thing that'll have to be just kind of like sussed out with us a little bit, because sometimes, like, whether it be retreat or a non-combat move, like to set up potentially for the next round, like we could see something that we would think to do, but the commanders may not think that, or vice versa. You know, they may be like, I really want to do A, and we don't see that, and we think they want to do B. I think that's going to be something that's kind of tricky, is like kind of executing that to really how they want it to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's why we're going to try to do as you know as many of these with commanders online as possible, right? So we can actually see what's happening. Okay, so next, what will happen is the commanders. That again, one more time, is Robin and Charles and Chad and Sean and Landon and Jon Bosch, who just arrived. Hey, John, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Will be our moderator if there's any kind of weirdness or a commander is not available to make some kind of call. John's a highly experienced player in lots of different versions of the game, so we will trust that he is being fair and making good choices for the world. So, but then as soon as they've got 12 hours or so to get their orders into the forum, and then I'll put up the first poll on Discord tomorrow morning that all of the members will be able to vote on. So hopefully this actually works the way that I hope that I'm explaining it. Well, I guess we'll find out. But so Sean, so what we're doing now is you're going to go into your tab, which is tab number 4. So you're commander number 4, and in there you'll write what you want Russia to do or what you want the Russians to purchase, and then what you want their combat moves to be, and then we'll go from there, keeping track of the losses and so forth as we execute that role. And then for non-combat, obviously you're not going to have all of the information necessary for non-combat because their units may be lost or whatever, but any specific moves that you want made during non-combat. A really good example for the Soviets in this instance might be that in your non-combat area, you might say the sub from C-Zone 4 moves to C-Zone 2. Right? That's not it's not a combat move, and it's not a thing that's going to be relevant necessarily to anything other than that thing. But you may also then say, right? You might also say that the bomber survives and returns to Moscow, or the fighter survives, if it survives, moves to Ukraine or to Caucasus or whatever it is that you want it to be in. So that's kind of the gist of it. I hope that makes sense. The other thing that might, if it makes your life easier, abbreviations, as long as they make sense. I don't ever write out the word fighter. I say FTR. Bombers are, BM and so forth. So it should be pretty easy. Oh, we've got ourselves some, looks like we got a bunch of gift memberships that just showed up. Cray, man, you're super generous. I really, really appreciate this. Let's bring this back up here. We're gonna come to, here we are. Hey, what's up? And Cray T has generously purchased 5 gift memberships for some fine folks here. Thank you, Cray. We really appreciate that. We've got
awesome.
JP Belly is now a citizen of Board Game Nation. Congrats. Ed, parentheses Ed. Is that your nickname? Ed?
My name's
Ed. My name's Ed, but they call me Ed. I like it. And Jeffrey is now a member. Thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate that. And Quentin is also new to the Board Game Nation, so that's fantastic. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for Cray T for turning those fine folks into citizens. Those gift memberships last a month. And if you are enjoying the content, you can continue to be a member by signing up on your own and continuing. We will not be through this game in a month. I promise that. So if you want to be around through the whole thing to see how this all plays out, this madness that we've started here, so we really appreciate that. All right. So So there was questions. When will the next move be? What will happen next is, like I said, the commanders will write their orders. Tomorrow, I will put up a poll on Discord for members to vote on, and then we will leave the world with 12 to 18 hours, and I guess we're back tomorrow night for a quick Russia turn move, and then it's the UK, I guess. They go after Russia? Who goes after Russia? I can't remember. I don't know how to play this game.
Germany.
Yes, it'd be Germany after that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So we'll have to figure all that out. All right, cool. So, but then all of that, but the live streams from here on out for Doug versus the World will be member only. So if you want to be able to join us for those, like I said, they're member only, and we want to make sure that the folks that are members, that they're getting full value for it, and that we are allowing them to get their comments up to the top and so on and so forth. But it should be a lot of fun. So I hope you'll think about joining, because we're gonna get through this and see how it all plays out. But I have no idea we're gonna win. I don't, Jamie. Does Gary even know how to play this game? I'm not sure that I do. I don't know, but it's fun. All right. Anything else, Douglas? Any other questions, comments, things you guys want to talk about out there?
This was a lot of fun. Just thinking through it with someone else is always helpful too.
Yes. So a little bit of Board Game Nation news and other news. We have signed a deal with our friends at Renegade to make a full how to play for Battle for the Deep. Should be fun. It's a lighter game. I've read the rules. It is the best way I can think about this is to say that it's like 1941, like it's pretty light, but it also has different kinds of units that are unique to the power. So there's some asymmetrical stuff that goes with this, which should make it interesting and fun to kind of play. I'm excited about it because I think it's going to be a nice crossover with some casual game players that might be able to bring them over to the Axis and Allies side of the world. So we'll see. But we also, in other news, we just signed a deal for anyone who knows, I made the North Africa how to play video last year that took me about 4 months to make. It was a very, very long process. It was fun, and I enjoyed making the video and sharing it with everybody and covering the North Africa final and everything that went with that. But it was just a ton. It was way more work than I had expected it to be. And so we're going to do a little something different for Stalingrad than we did for North Africa, because I can't take the time to make a feature-length film on how to play each one of these games when they come out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make what I'm calling Battlefield Basics for the game. So instead of being 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 8 minutes, which is how long North Africa was, what we'll be doing instead is making like I said, Battlefield Basics. It'll be kind of an in-depth quick start guide is the best way to explain it. So it'll be an overview of the game, any kind of specialties. I've read the rule book. It is very, very different than standard Axis and Allies. There's no doubt about that. But it is, but it is managed. It is not as complicated as North Africa. Let me just say that North Africa is probably 20 or 30% more complicated than Stalingrad. And one of the things that's nice about Stalingrad is those order cards do a really nice job of keeping the action moving. It's easier to kind of see where everything's going. So that's really helpful. And that should help with everyone trying to move through the game. So I think it's going to be fun. And it shouldn't take us 4 months to make it. The goal is for that to be out by, before Gen Con, which is when that game will come out. They do have the prototype copy on the way to me, but it's been sitting in a post office for the last 4 days, hasn't moved. Now, we just had a big snowstorm here in Memphis, and which causes the city to absolutely freak out. So I'm not particularly surprised, but it is. It's making me nervous a little bit because there's one copy in the world right now. One.
What post office is this? Maybe you have to drive out there.
Believe me, it has occurred that I'll go over there and get to it. But we definitely, Matt Hire sent it to me from like his house. I'm like, man, I don't have it yet. I don't know what to tell you. But hopefully it should arrive in the next couple of days. But they also sent me an expansion for the Risk 2210. There's a new expansion that's coming out for this game that I didn't know about. So that will be cool. We'll certainly take a look at that. And they also sent me they put me on the pre-order for Battle of the Bulge, so we'll have that as well. We'll probably do unboxings for those games somewhere along the way. But we've got another super thanks from Crazy. Man, you're all about it. Here we go. I just finished my first game of Anniversary and had a pretty solid win as allies. I'm curious if you have any opinion on the Soviets trying to hold or make Karelia hurt for Germany turn one. Well, anytime you can cause Germany pain, you're probably doing something right. What I would say is that this cannot be done by the Soviets alone. That's for sure. This is best done in coordination with the UK. If they can start landing units in Norway or Finland or Karelia, that is going to be the best way. If you can turn Karelia into a kind of a dead man zone, then yeah, you're going a long way to keeping Russia alive. If you can keep the Germans out of Karelia, is kind of my thought. Doug, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth trying to hold it turn one. I mean, I think you're better off abandoning it, using those forces elsewhere. I mean, yeah, long term, obviously coordinating with the UK, harassing Karelia, bombing it if you take the AA gun out, etc. But I don't think it's practical to hold it on round one.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to hold it with just the Russians on round one. That's almost certainly going to be an expensive loss. But being able to go back and forth with it, with the Russians and the UK landing in and then reinforcing each other, going through that is certainly a very, very viable strategy for sure. Thank you again for the support. We really appreciate that. And we got another new member here, Mr. Coffee. Just became a member. You, sir, are a good man. I appreciate you being here, Mr. Coffee. And I pray at your altar every morning. I can tell you that for sure. All right. I ended up trying to hold Karelia to Rome with a small force and made it hurt for Germany. Then over the game landed twice into the UK and took it back throughout the game. Yeah, so then you're absolutely on the right track. That's how I would go about doing that, is maybe a guy or two in the first round just to make sure that they have to send a fighter or something like that up to give them something else to shoot at for sure. But yeah, I think you're on the right track with that one. All right, well, we got some new members today. We got some great new gift memberships. We got some super chats. We really appreciate all of that. We got a really strong opener, I think, in Japan 1. Really excited about that. I think that went really well for us. Sorry, world. You saw me roll, right? I'm rolling all the same dice for everybody. Like, I don't want any.
We got a couple of last round. I mean, the fighter in 3 different places missed on its last shot, and that could have hurt in the 2 naval battles in particular. So,
yeah. Well, we also had a couple of like miss.
Yeah.
I mean, how many rounds did we go in Yunnan without?
It was like, what's going on here?
Right. And we spent all this time in the video series talking about how important it was to kill that fighter in Yunnan. I was like, this Yunnan fighter is going to survive and we're going to be screwed. I was like, this is not going to work.
Yeah, we get our bid wiped out in round 1. Oops.
Right. We kind of did, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because we went there with 3 infantry and the artillery. We lost
2
I guess, what did we lose there? We lost 2 guys.
Yeah, it could have been way worse. So
Yeah. We only lost the 2 infantry, so I guess, yeah. Yeah. But everything else seems like it's in pretty good shape. So, all right, world. It's on you. Bring it. Let's see what you got. I ain't scared. I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll be really interested to see, especially if the commanders don't like completely collaborate or whatever, how varying the. I think in the beginning the moves will be more similar, and then as the game progresses, my guess is they'll diverge more. And maybe at some point kind of come back together, if that makes sense. Because often in the last round, depending, you might only really have 1 or 2 options, but in that mid game, you can go this way, that way, upside down, but I wouldn't be surprised if Russia 1 has a lot of similar ideas. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
All right, I've just had a thought. So, commanders, I hope that you're still here because I want to ask this question. What if we did it this way? What if we said, commanders, you now have 24 hours to get your orders in. And then when you've submitted your orders into the forum, ping me through the Discord server so that I know that you're in. But if you haven't gotten your orders in 24 hours, then time's expired. We're going to put the poll out. And then we'll give the poll 24 hours. And then we're back on Sunday night. I feel like this 24-hour turn is going to be really, really hard. And like now I can't take a day off. Like I love you guys, but I got Netflix to watch. I need to sit down. But
it's probably a better time frame. Because like I'm not going to be able to do a live stream every night of the week. There's just no way.
Right. And I'm also thinking like there's going to be, when I'm looking at the timeline, there's also going to be instances where the allies will go twice. Right? That does happen in this game, right? Is there an instance where that happens? Or is it always back and forth?
Really. I mean, America and China, but that's not really going twice,
Right, yeah, okay.
But because of Italy, they don't really go twice in a row.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I've got three commanders here that are telling me, or 2 commanders so far, saying that's a better pace. And I think that makes more sense, just in general, to make everyone's life a little bit easier. Okay. So it may mean that the game takes longer, like over the course, we may be at 8 weeks or 9 weeks, but I'm okay with that so long as it's, we're not killing ourselves trying to. This still needs to be fun, right? So let's make it so that it's a reasonable thing. But I will say that if all of the commanders get their orders in sooner than that, then we'll put up the poll as soon as all the orders are in. So this is what I'm saying, like. So Charles and Sean and Robin and whatever, like when you get your orders put into the forum, ping me so that I know that I can then take that and put it into the Discord server and open up the poll for the world.
Yeah.
But if we get to 24 hours and, Robin hasn't put it in his orders because he's, got kids and a life, then that's fine. Then we just move on. So that's kind of...
Another thing is, like when we go for Italy, that's going to be fast. That's going to be a really fast live stream. It's not going to take a lot of thought or discussion. And we could probably, once UK is done, we could probably turn that round around pretty quickly.
Right.
Unless we have like a night we can't.
Yeah, no, I think it should be fine. What? Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. All right, so I feel like that's a better plan for everybody. So now the sheet is open for all of the commanders. I think I've got everybody that's got permission, and I hope so. If you are a commander out there and you do not have permissions in the sheet, ping me now, or send me use the system to email me, and I'll give you permissions through the sheet. But otherwise, everyone will be able to see the sheet and be able to at least see what's happening, or I should say, members will be able to see it. I do have an access request. There we go, Chad. Yes, there you go. Boom. Yes, you're now Chad. You should be able to share. You should be able to do your thing now. And so I've got 4 people now. The only person I'm missing is I've got Charles, Chad, Robin, Sean, Landon. I'm still waiting on Landon to request access. But then everyone else will be able to view the sheet. All the other members will, so that they can see previous orders, particularly if you've got the game set up at home and they want to be able to see kind of how it played out. But awesome. Okay, Landon, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. When you get to your computer later, that's not a big deal. I've got another member. Hey, all right, 6 of 5, became a member. Welcome. We've got ourselves another sergeant. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate that. So yeah, keep in mind, turn 1 is always. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is a good point. JP, keep in mind that turn 1 is always the longest and it gets faster after that. I find that's typically true.
Yeah, like, I mean, even this, you can tell we're like probably taking way too long to decide where like one fighter lands. This is why sometimes teams take 40-minute turns in a tournament. You're like, what are you doing, guys? Just land the bomber somewhere and move on.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's fine. So the sheet, the Google sheet so you can see kind of where the orders are for the commanders, that'll be in the Discord server. And my lovely bride is going to drop that link in the chat now. And once you're there, you'll be able to see Gary and Doug versus the World as a category. And then under that, you'll be able to see, actually here, we'll just do this. We'll do a little screen share. We'll do it together. Nice. All right. And Doug, I promise that these live streams will not be this long in the future. We're moving through this initial piece here. All right. So we're Board Game Nation. And okay, so on the left here, you can see Gary and Doug versus the World. And then there's the Commander's War Room, which is, I don't know what that was supposed to be. Okay. Member voting. This is where the polls will be. So members will be able to get access to this, and they'll be able to, this is where the, like, Commander 1, and it'll be like their one-line thing. And then battle updates. This is where the pictures, the still images will go, which I'm going to take here in just a few minutes. Of how the action played out, and then go from there. And then this is the place where the world can talk among themselves about this game. Thank you, Charles. Thanks for being here. And this is where the world can talk among themselves about this particular game. And then this is the commander chat that I have now said that I will not look at. So I will not click on that. But there's also a place in here for the commanders to talk to each other. So there's a voice line here that also apparently has a video option. So that's fun. So you can check that out. And here's a sneak preview of an event that we are still working on. Theater Commanders. So if you're still in this live stream, the 100 of you that are still here, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate that. We've talked a little bit in the past about Theater Commanders. We're going to, once we get this under our belt, we'll double back and talk more about how this is going to work. But this, I think this is going to be very cool. I'm excited about getting this off the ground. So lots of fun things here. As far as other member-only stuff that happens here, we've got some member-only content that is pictures from the other events and places where you can go and actually see all of the stills from the games, as well as my annotation sheets for each of the championship games that we covered, so you can kind of go back and look at those. Then we also have several player aids that we've dropped in here from time to time. So, and while I'm here, we're going to talk about this. If you are interested in supporting Board Game Nation or just looking for discounts on stuff, these are places that you can join. But also, this is the Renegade link that if you use this link and buy anything on the site, we get a commission for that, so we appreciate that. If you're going to buy that stuff anyway, it costs the same for you, but it does help support the channel. If you want 10% off of everything you get from Combat Miniatures, they've got a code over there for us, BGN. If you put in BGN at checkout, you get 10% off your entire purchase, which is pretty cool. So thank you to Rich for being a supporter of the channel, and which is the entirety of the Combat Miniatures online store. So we appreciate his support, and we we'll be working with him again real soon. So we're looking forward to that. All right. So any other questions about how this is going to work? I think we've got it. I'm going to drop the, I got to put the link into, I guess I'll drop it in the world chat so that everybody can kind of see it. Yeah? Doug, what do you think?
I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if the world doesn't choose Gear Force One as their build.
If they want a chance of winning, they know what to do.
Is there like a, and this is really a question for the world, is there like a Gear Force One Big Bertha edition where you do a bomber instead of a fighter? Like, I gotta know. Like, what are all the options here?
Yes.
I mean, you have right? You would save
you got the money.
Fighter or bomber.
Yeah. You do have the money. I'll be interested to see what they do. I'm one of the commander's votes for that. That's for sure. So we'll see. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But we've got our first move in the books of Gary and Doug versus the world, and it gets a glockenspiel. I'm happy with how it's turning out so far. Love that everybody's interested in it. We've got several new members that have joined. We appreciate that. Craig, thank you for all the gift memberships and on all the support along the way. 65, fantastic. Thanks for being a member. We've got a bunch of new members on today, so we're really excited about all of that. Commanders, it's on you. As they say in the videos, let's make it hot. Let's see what we do. We're going to find out how this goes. All right. I think we're done. I think that's all we got for today. Thank you all for being here. Doug, we're going to see how this plays out. I have no idea what's going to happen next.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
I don't know. I hope this works. I don't know. I think it will. We'll find out. If it doesn't work, we'll shuffle it around and try it again. But
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yes. I might put a poll in the field to see if they want Jamie to roll for the world. We'll see how that works out.
But had some bad rolls for us also.
I did too. Yep. And make sure you hit that like button on your way out here. We appreciate everybody being here. And if you want to continue to follow the action for Gary and Doug versus the world, please consider joining the channel. When we get to 80, I didn't even mention the prizes. I got a new thing. Boom! Renegade sent this to me on accident. They were trying to send me the global map, and they had a mistake in the warehouse, and they sent me this instead. They also sent me the global map as to make up for it, but they sent me this, and I'm like, that's all right. I'll just give it. I'll add it to the giveaways.
Yeah, warehouse mistakes are great.
Yes, bank error in your favor. I like it. So this will go out with. I think we might do this with 80. We're in the low 70s right now for members. So I think if we get to 80, we'll add that to the list. We'll give that guy away, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, all right, I think that's a wrap for today. Lots more exciting things to come. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, Doug, for being here. Thank you to Jamie for reminding me to do the things and to put the things in the right places. Thank you for John for being here, and Emily I think is over in the Discord server, so she's around someplace. But thank you all for being members and supporting this mayhem. And that's a wrap. Doug, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, everybody. Good luck.
All right, world. Let's see what you got. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Bye.